Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into the topic what this person won't say to your face. Blunt AF. This is for any connection on your mind, whether romantic, platonic, coworker, family, whoever it is that you're curious to learn more about what they're not saying to your face. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Choose the crystal or deck that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. Hey group one, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Aqua Obsidian Crystal and the Cozy Witch Tarot deck, this is going to be your reading. Today's message is going to be digging into the topic what they won't say to your face. Blunt AF. So let's find out what this person is really thinking, what they're really feeling, but that they're hesitant to say to your face specifically. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into their overall energy here. So we start off here with the Virgin's Milk. We have New Beginnings. And then we also have a Moment's Regret, and it was in reverse. So this talks about nostalgia, idealizing the past, and fearing you made a mistake, but it's in reverse, which is very interesting. All right, group one. So starting us off here with this person's energy toward you. These two cards over here, the Virgin's Milk and the Fool, New Beginnings, tell me that this person is in an energy of being very new or very green to something. So they don't have a lot of experience. They don't have a lot of expertise. They're probably newer to something than they would like to admit to you, greener at something than they would like to admit to you. And I think this person is probably lacking in self-awareness as well, if I could guess. The Fool is not always the most self-aware energy. It's a very authentic energy of like taking a leap of faith and just being your authentic self. And you just kind of fly into things not knowing what you don't know. And there can be a little bit of naivete that is connected to this card as well, which is what makes me feel like there's a little bit of a lack of self-awareness, because I feel like this person is just kind of like moving forward onto this new beginning that they're in, or in this new role or position or energy or cycle. And they're definitely wanting to not focus on the past. But it almost is giving me this energy of like forging ahead with just like throwing inhibitions to the wind and not really learning from the past, not really honoring what was before them or who came before them, I'm hearing. And it's like a little bit of an egotistical energy that I get from this, if I can be honest with you guys. It's like, we're just going to move forward. I don't need to be caught up in what happened before. You know, like there's just no reflection. You know what I mean? There's no reflection on what was as they progress forward. So that's an interesting energy. So what spirit is this person not saying to group one's face? What is this person not saying to group number one's face around this energy? What are they not saying? To group number one's face. We have the Page of Wands. This says, just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it'll be effortless. Okay, what else? We have the Six of Pentacles. Every blessing you give will eventually be returned to you. Okay, one more. And then we have the Justice energy. Stick to your truth and everything will turn out just fine. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon. Taking time for deep self-reflection is essential. And that's kind of what I feel this person is avoiding, if I could be honest with you guys. So, what they're not telling you is that they really don't know what they're doing, group one. I think this person is navigating a lot of ambiguity, and the path forward for them is actually a lot less clear than what they're presenting it to be. We also have the Five of Cups underneath of this as well. This says spilled tea isn't the end of the world. So they have some regrets. They might be avoiding reflecting on the past because there's something about the past that is painful for them. They've lost something, they've suffered a disappointment, something hasn't worked out in the way that they had hoped. Right. And so it's like instead of learning from it, reflecting on it, and transmuting that energy, they just bury it and they forge forward without even thinking about it, without integrating the lessons. There could also be an energy here of like, I don't know the context of your situation, group one, but I'm wondering if there's also something about them not wanting to honor people who have more expertise or experience or who have been around in this specific situation. Right? Because they're very new and they're definitely here to bring some sort of a fresh energy into the situation. But because they're not really leaning on a mentor or a guide, or they're not like learning from those that have come before them or reflecting on their own lessons from the past, the path forward is very ambiguous. And so maybe for some of you guys, this person is starting to journal, but I feel like their journaling is more to serve them, journaling or planning rather, but it's more to serve them with moving forward than it is to integrate lessons of the past here. All right. So what are they not saying to you or to your face, group one? The Page of Wands sort of confirms like that this person is in a very impulsive energy right now. They may also struggle with like attention span, or they may struggle with novelty at times. And I love the message here, which says just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it'll be effortless. This person is in a Page of Wands energy with regard to the situation that you're asking about right now, group one. So the Page of Wands is impulsive, it's spontaneous, it gets excited and it pursues something, and then it'll kind of have a squirrel moment and be like, oh, but that over there looks exciting too. And it doesn't really have lasting power, if you know what I mean. And it's also a very new and green energy, very similarly to the Fool and the Virgin's Milk cards that we have here, right? And so they may have a lot of excitement and passion, but they're not really channeling it in a mature way at this time. So like if you guys are asking about a romantic partner, this is somebody, or a romantic love interest, this is definitely somebody who gets bored easily. They like to be impulsive. They don't really want to plan, right? If this is somebody that you work with, right? Like they might be a little out of their depth with their work because they're new to it. And they're also struggling with staying the course and attention span here. Okay. Impulsive energy where it's hard to kind of keep their attention focused on certain things. So what are they not saying to your face, group one? This person, I think, is actually scrounging for help in a way with the Six of Pentacles. I feel like this person actually views you. I'm looking at this cat. I feel like this person actually views you as very regal, very independent, very poised. Like you kind of have everything together where they don't. And you notice here in this card how she's like scrounging into the sofa to get some pentacles, right? It's like looking for resources, looking for help, looking for generosity. They might kind of feel sometimes like in the situation with you and them that there's like an imbalance there of power or resources or effort. And regardless with the situation, I just think it's like they view themselves as always like looking like they need help, and they have to look for help in these sort of forgotten about places, but you're very regal to them. And I see them feeling you're regal here as well with this Justice card. This says, stick to your truth, everything will turn out just fine. This is sort of how they're viewing you, right? They see you as somebody who's highly accountable, somebody who is doing what's right, somebody who is definitely much more serious than they are, right? Justice is about doing the right thing, doing the accountable thing, communicating clearly and fairly, right? Telling the truth and being honest. So when we look at the juxtaposition of this energy, it's like they're in this very impulsive new green Page of Wands vibe. They see you as being like the more authoritative one here, which is pretty interesting. Much more poised and powerful than they are. And they are not telling you this to your face, group one. So what is group one's person not saying to their face, please, Spirit? Working with my Empowered Emotions Oracle deck, which you guys can check out in the link below if you're curious. What are they not telling group one to their face, please, Spirit? Jealous. Oh my gosh. And here's the regretful energy of this Five of Cups. So there's something about the past that they regret, that they feel like they've messed up here. I feel like for some of them, they might say that they feel like they're on trial with you, or they feel like you're judging them or making a judgment call on them. This person has jealous energy. This is interesting. So there's something that they want. There's something that they want to possess. I feel like there's something that you like. Maybe there's something that you embody, a way of being that this person wishes that they had as well. Jealous energy. This person might communicate in ways that are meant to make you jealous, or they might communicate with you in ways where you kind of pick up on that they're jealous of you, which is kind of interesting. What are they not saying to group one space, please, Spirit? Clarifying the Six of Pentacles. We have the Chimera. Imagination clouds your judgment. That's so interesting. Right. And it's like with the moon being here, that is clouded judgment. That is fear, ambiguity, not listening to your intuition. It's clarifying under the Six of Pentacles. So what they're perceiving in terms of the effort and energy exchange between the two of you is not accurate, right? There's something clouding their perception of this situation. They're projecting onto this. You know, it's interesting, right? Because I was getting that they view you as being very regal, independent, more accountable, more authoritative here. I feel like this person, it's almost like they're sitting in this delusional energy of like they have to find resources and you just kind of sit pretty and like have everything that you need and you move with independence. But really what I see here is like this person with the Page of Wands is definitely not somebody who's able to be reciprocal, right? You, my viewer, with this justice energy and this cat energy that's here, you're much more embodied than this person is. So if anybody is going to be able to be reciprocal, it's going to be the person embodying justice energy, because that's all about fairness and balance and accountability, where the Page of Wands like needs to be held accountable. Maybe that's what they're not saying, is like, you kind of hold them accountable when they're being scattered and impulsive. Let's get another one, please, Spirit. All right, we also have the Dragon, strength and wisdom. Yeah, this is how they view you, group one, that you're somebody who holds a lot of wisdom and power here. The Dragon, that's so interesting. I think they're like low-key a little bit intimidated by you, but it's like really interesting because the justice energy is really just about accountability, doing what's right, following the rules, following the law, doing what's right, even if it's not what we personally want to do. I think that this is something that this person really struggles with, but they see you in such a high level of embodiment of this energy, which makes you look very powerful to them. What's interesting too is like looking at do you guys see the different animals that are here? So we have a cat in the Six of Pentacles, and then we have the dog here in the Justice card. What this tells me is that you, my viewer, you're somebody who's more about partnership and companionship, right? And with Justice being here, you might expect reciprocity or accountability from other people in your life. The cat is more about independence. And so it's kind of interesting. I actually kind of feel like this person embodies cat energy in a way where they are kind of more about them. And there's nothing wrong with cats or dogs, by the way, but I'm just using it as a metaphor. Like a cat is typically a more independent creature. It's like a mystical kind of independent creature that doesn't require a lot of care, whereas a dog does require much more care and attention than a cat does. You know, when you have them as pets, usually, stereotypically, right? All animals are different. But I kind of feel like this person with the cat energy still doesn't really know their power. But I also think they have a general disposition that's not maybe as warm and fuzzy, or that's a little bit more about themselves, versus you might actually, even though you're more in this regal, powerful energy, it's like you're more about partnership. You're more about people. You're more about loyalty and accountability in your relationships, right? Versus this person. So what are they not saying to your face? Group one, it just kind of feels like they're a little jealous of you. It feels like they're a little out of their depth in something, like they're newer to something than they are letting on to you. They don't feel like somebody who's super self-aware and accountable. And they're definitely not integrating lessons from the past or learning lessons from the past. It just kind of feels like they're trying to push full steam ahead without thinking about it, which isn't always a good thing, right? They're navigating a lot of ambiguity, a lot of uncertain territory, and they're not necessarily being honest with you guys about that. Okay. So this is what I see. Group one, comment below. Let me know how this resonates with you and the situation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey there, group two. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to this honey calcite crystal and the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot, this will be your message. So today we're going to be looking into what they won't say to your face, blunt AF. And as I mentioned in the intro, this will apply to any connection on your mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be limited to just romantic, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into this person's current energy. All right, so we have the blue temple. We have awareness. This is the magician. And we've got, I wonder what will happen next. It says ready for adventure, ready to adventure, precipice of change, pause before action. All right, group two. So this is sort of their energy around you in the situation of what they're not saying to your face. I do feel like this person is in a little bit of a restless energy when it comes to the situation, because this card really talks about being in limbo, right? Like being on the precipice of change, being in kind of an in-between phase at this time, not really taking action, but wanting something different, wanting a change, wanting something. I do feel with the blue temple energy being here that this person might be spending a lot of time in their head. When I say in their head, what I really mean is more like a spiritual sort of escapist energy at times, where they might be really caught up in their inner world, or really keeping to themselves, or kind of mulling a lot of this stuff over independently versus telling you to your face, right? They're starting to become aware with the magician of what they want. They're starting to figure out what it is that I feel like would make them happy, where they want to go, what they want to create. The magician energy is about manifestation. It's about harnessing the tools and powers that you possess to be able to create and manifest, call in or manipulate circumstances to get you to where you would like to be. And I'm noticing here that this card, it's called awareness, right? So I feel like this person is finally starting to, like, through this maybe sequestered or spiritual or maybe even reclusive energy, or this energy of them being more in their head, they're finally starting to become aware of what they're ready to create here. So let's keep going. This is very interesting. So Spirit, for group two's person, what are they not saying to group number two's face? What are they not saying to group two's face? What are they not saying to group two's face, please? What are they not saying to group two's face? We have the Four of Wands. Okay. Ooh, we have the Empress. This is beautiful. Okay, that's like way too many. One moment. Let's get this together. Queen of Swords in reverse. And then we do have a Queen of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So the two reversed queens is kind of interesting. I do feel, let me just think about this for a moment. Lots of feminine energies here. So this person could be feminine. What are they not saying to your face, group two? I'm just connecting in. I kind of feel like this person is viewing you as this Queen of Cups reversed, Queen of Swords reversed energy, right? The Queen of Cups in reverse is somebody who's kind of not in control of their emotions, who is very emotionally turbulent at times or can be moody. And the Queen of Swords in reversed can be like when somebody's a little too passive or not good with boundaries or confusing in their communication. Can also be when somebody's very cutthroat in their communication, like kind of the extreme version of the Queen of Swords, or right. So it's just interesting. Like the way that I planned the spread was to be like, this card is their energy, this card is the situation, and this card is you toward them or in their view. So there is something about them seeing you as these queens in reverse that they're not saying to you. They might think that you're not communicating clearly, that you're not, maybe you're not clear of thought, clear of vision. They may sense or feel with the Queen of Cups in reverse that you are not emotionally super secure at this time. Now remember, group two, this is what they're not saying to your face, right? Just because somebody feels or thinks a certain thing, it doesn't have to mean it's true. So just take with a grain of salt. If it resonates with you, you know that. But it's interesting because this person actually seems like they're in a pretty good place personally. You know, with this Four of Wands, this person is open, right? They're kind of in this place where they've been doing a lot of inner work. They've been thinking about what's coming next. They're open to what is coming next, and they're ready to create it. They're ready to manifest it. And I see the creation here as well with the Empress. Now, the Four of Wands, this can indicate like readiness for home, family. This can have to do with community, living situation, or just like a general openness, approachability, or welcoming energy that they feel at this time. The Empress energy is about creation, giving birth, either literally or metaphorically. So there could be something about that for this group situation with this person. Empress can be maternal, nurturing type of energy as well. I feel like this person might feel like they have to take care of you a little bit, group two, right? Like they're responsible for your your emotional well-being at times, or they feel that at times. Let's see. But with this Empress energy, there is something about the situation that does feel very abundant to them or creative. So what is group two's person not saying to their face? Please, Spirit. Using one of my Oracle decks today, the Empowered Emotions Oracle. You guys can check out the link in the description below if you're curious to see more. We have prideful, and we do have forgiveness. So if there's been discontent in this connection, I do feel like there's been something here, anger, frustration, something that caught them off guard about you or about the situation. They're forgiving you for that. But they are moving forward with this Four of Wands energy with a sense of pride, and wanting to feel good about what they're doing. Let's continue group 2. Like this person may take pride in their community. They may take pride in their family. They may take pride in belonging or welcoming type of energy and spaces, right? And they're ready. I do feel like they're ready for expansion. They're ready for something new here. What are they not saying to group 2 space, please, Spirit? We have the Chimera. Imagination clouds your judgment. Let's get another one. We also have Earth energy. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. And then we do have the Gate at the bottom of the deck. A barrier keeps you from your goals. They may feel, I don't know, maybe they feel like you guys have put up a barrier in a way, right? Like, that there's a blocker here connected to this Queen of Swords reverse, Queen of Cups reverse, and this Earth energy, right? And it's very interesting that this Earth card talks about utilizing logic, because the Queen of Swords in reverse is not always the most logical. She's not always the most strategic. She may not be leaning into reason and common sense. Like there's a lack of grounding here that they feel in your energy, a lack of clarity that they feel in your energy, and something about that, they feel like it's keeping them from reaching all that they can be in the situation here. Now, what I will say with the Chimera, this says imagination clouds your judgment. And so being clarified by the Empress, what I feel with this person is that they may be viewing you, whether they realize it or not, they may be viewing like that they need to take care of you or fix the situation or mother the situation in some regard. I do feel like this person could be somebody who does too much to like overcompensate when they feel like somebody else isn't stepping up. So they could be going through that right now, not necessarily seeing you clearly or seeing their role in the situation super clearly. So again, take it with a grain of salt, right? Because they're kind of viewing you, they're like themselves in the situation, this Empress energy, but Spirit is saying that they're not seeing it fully clearly either. Okay. So what are they not saying to your face, group 2? I think that what they're saying is that they're ready for what's next. They're ready to move to the next step here, but they feel something about your energy is blocking them. And I do feel like they're open to you. They're open to the situation. They want to create. They want to repair. Maybe even they want to lean in and take care of you or help you in some way, but they're not fully seeing their role in the situation clearly. Okay. So very interesting. Comment below group 2. Let me know a little bit about this person and what's been happening in your connection. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hey group 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to this pink Himalayan salt and the Modern Witch Tarot deck, this will be your message. So today we're going to be looking into what they won't say to your face. And as I mentioned in the intro, this reading can really apply to any connection that's on your mind. It's not limited to just romantic relationships. So let's go ahead and jump in. I want to take a look at your person's current energy toward you, and then we'll dive into the situation a little bit further. Oof. So we start us off with the oil of vitriol here. That green lion. Oops. We've got choose wisely. This is the 7 of Cups. And then we've got changed in the night. This says you have changed quickly, but it's, oops, but it was in reverse. So we're going to take it in reverse here. Very interesting. All right. So what they won't say to your face, group 3, I feel like this person is very frustrated right now. Very frustrated. They could be maybe even a little bit angry right now with you or angry with their situation. And I feel like this person is very frustrated because they want a change. They want something different for themselves. This person might be feeling like they've been a little stuck. Maybe they feel like they aren't growing, they aren't changing. And I feel like they're ready to do something different. But they're also, I think, a bit confused or misguided about what they want to do that's different with the Seven of Cups, right? The Seven of Cups is about having a lot of choices in front of us, a lot of options, a lot of competing priorities, and it can make the energy, like if you're on the receiving end of this energy from a person, their attention can feel scattered, or they can be viewed as a little bit scattered because they're just all over the place and they don't really have a clear direction about what they want, where they're going, or what they're doing. So I definitely think they have a lot of pent up anger. They have a lot of pent up frustration. They are wanting to purify that. And sometimes this oil of vitriol card comes up because it is important to sort of like get it out of the system, right? Like to kind of confront something, even if it is anger or frustration. It's like getting it out in the open can help bring clarity, and it can help purify the situation here. They may be in a situation right now where they're trying a lot of new things. Like the Seven of Cups, it is a scattered energy, but it's not necessarily bad if you don't know what direction that you want to go or how you want to change, like this person appears to be. Sometimes it does help to try little things, to try this option, that option, right? To kind of dip your toe into various things to see what sticks and what feels resonant to you. But I feel like they just are carrying a lot of frustration because maybe the answers aren't coming super clear. Maybe there's something about them wishing that you would be more present to help them through this for some of you. And even if this has nothing to do with you specifically, right, this is what's happening behind the scenes. It's what they're not saying to your face. Now, for some of you, this person might be viewing you this way, right? They might be viewing you as somebody who is stuck. They might be viewing you as somebody who's angry or who lashes out at them, who is confused and not really clear about what path they're taking in life. So take it as it resonates with you and your situation. So let's see. What is this person not saying to group three's face, Spirit? Ooh, Justice in reverse. And let's continue. What are they not saying to group three's face about the situation? Oof, Five of Swords. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This person, I feel, is viewing you guys as this Nine of Pentacles. Like you're somebody who has it all to them. You might be viewed by them as somebody who's very abundant, prosperous, like you've worked really hard. You've reached a certain level of status or comfort in your life. And I think that they might harbor a little bit of frustration or resentment over that because I don't really feel like this person is in that place. And I also feel there's something about your energy where they're perceiving you as being stubborn or stuck or not progressing with them. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So they see that you have all this abundant, prosperous energy, but it's almost like with the Knight of Pentacles reverse toward them, it's not really, you're not like working with them. You're not helping them. You're not guiding them. You're not making progress. You're not offering them anything. They definitely would tell you with this Five of Swords that, you know, this is a situation where they're definitely frustrated. They're frustrated. There's petty energy here. This person might be of the mindset that this situation should be a certain way, that it's not. This person may be trying to keep the upper hand on you with this Five of Swords. You know, it's petty energy. It's like nobody wins with this energy. So they may be perceiving that you guys are like at odds with each other. You, because you're kind of stubborn and immobile here, them with the Justice reverse, because there's some sort of, I feel like this person thinks that something was unfair here with the Justice card in reverse, right? Justice is typically about doing the right thing. It's about being accountable. It's about honoring our commitments. It's about telling the truth. And it's showing up in their energy in the reverse for how they're viewing themselves in the situation. So they may feel like you guys owe them something. They may feel like something is owed to them, that something was unfair, something was unjust here. And it's like they see you over here in this Nine of Pentacles, just like thriving and living your best abundant life. But then toward them with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, there's no progress, there's no support, there's no giving here. So Spirit, what is this person not saying to Group 3's face? Tell us more about this justice in reverse. It's so funny this entitled card flashed up because that's kind of how I feel about their energy. We have strategic here coming through. I wonder if this person broke a commitment for strategic reasons, or broke a law for strategic reasons, or did something unfair or imbalanced. Yeah, because the Five of Swords, right? That's like, that is kind of that energy of always wanting to maintain the upper hand over somebody. This is kind of an ugly energy, you guys. I don't know what your situation is with this person, but they definitely seem like they are holding a lot of resentment and entitlement toward you. Let's see. What is this person not saying to Group 3? What are they not saying to my Group 3 viewers? Clarifying this Five of Swords. The Griffin. Honor and good luck. Okay. And then we do have the Oracle. Seek wisdom and guidance from elders. We have the Knight at the bottom of the deck. Triumph over adversity. They definitely feel like they're in an adverse situation. That's for sure here. I think this person sometimes isn't super self-aware, Group 3. The Seven of Cups, it is confusion. It is sometimes delusion energy. I was also kind of noticing how the finger pointing energy is here too. Not in all the hands that are in this card, but it's like finger pointing seems to be a thing with this person, where I feel like they deflect blame outwardly and they kind of like throw this vitriolic energy out there outwardly when really they need to be pointing the finger within, right? And so with this Five of Swords and honor and good luck, it makes me feel like they think that how they're fighting is just. They think that how they're operating here will bring them honor and good luck, that this is the honorable way to do things, when really it's just kind of a tit for tat energy with the Five of Swords. It's like a petty, just like tit for tat, not going to show my upper hand, win at all costs energy. It's toxic. It's toxic. But ultimately, I think they view you as somebody who's wise. They view you as somebody who maybe you're older than them, or they feel like you hold a lot of wisdom. Again, they definitely see you as successful. Like you're somebody who has grown a lot of abundance and prosperity for yourself, especially financially. And so it's like they view you as somebody who holds a lot of wisdom that they look up to and admire. They feel entitled to this wisdom. And I feel like with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, you're not giving it to them, and that's really frustrating them. So, goodness, Group 3. This is a very interesting person. The message definitely came through pretty clear about them. So what they're not saying to your face is basically all the above. They're frustrated about something when it comes to you. And I feel like they want to win at all costs, and they're just not, they're not super self-aware or honorable here in the way their energy reads to me. So this is what I see, Group 3. Comment below. Let me know what's been happening between you and this person, how this resonates for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading soon. Bye.